podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
So welcome everybody to the Premier League Cricket Show, and it is match week 14. That means we're almost 2/3 of the way through the season, which even by my small little head blows my mind, to say the least. Joining me as always with a far bigger head, far brighter than me, Mr. Hugh.
A bigger head. He's got a big face.
Yeah.
How you doing? I'm mildly grumpy, is what I am. I normally am.
Is that because you got a ton followed by a duck?
Well, no, not the duck. We don't talk about that. I'm grumpy. We have the Metrobank starting tomorrow, and I've been having a scrounge around now. I'm not Mr. Social Media. I try and block myself from most social media. You're definitely on this, so I might not be picking up sign-ins, but there seems to be very few players getting signed on Metrobank deals with a Premier League slant compared to maybe the last couple of years. Could be because actually the squads are slightly larger than they were with 100 money coming in, people signing a few lads over the last couple of years that have done well, possibly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've picked up, Sussex have got 3, Ollie Kirtley, Toby Munt, Freddie Price Millfield. Toby Munt's plays for Roffey in the Sussex Prem. Ollie Kirtley is at Eastbourne, is son of James Kirtley of England fame. Leicestershire got a couple of signs, but they're kind of not, they're already lads who are in and about. Sheridan Gums, Hamza Sheikh. Charlie Taylor from Warwickshire side, that's an interesting one. He's only 16, so that's kind of a young lad coming. Hopefully he's going to be an exciting player to watch. He's an under 16. If he plays the Metrobank as a seamer, that would be excellent. And then Jay Garlick is one you picked out for me off social media. Modishall player. He's signed for Warwickshire for the Metrobank, but that's pretty much it. There's a lot of teams, Gloucestershire, Middlesex, Kent, Essex, Worcestershire, York, etc. No signings. Until, well, yes, this is the big one.
Until we're recording this an hour or so after the announcement of Somerset squad for Nottinghamshire tomorrow. And congratulations, Johnny Connell of Berkshire. So thrilled for this guy, one of the best strikers of a ball I've seen in the last few years. He has been picked out, and I think it's fabulous. This is the way it should work. He's been picked out by Somerset, having played 2's cricket at Essex, 2's cricket at Sussex and Hampshire. And Somerset have gone, oh, we'll have you, thank you very much. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be up at Nottingham tomorrow, together with Mr. Newsom. Who else we got with Somerset?
It was a lad called Savin Pereira, who's pretty useful cricketer. I feel like he might have signed for Somerset. There was whispers. I had whispers a few weeks ago, and it sounds like the whispers are true. So congrats to Sav as well.
And in terms of being pleased for Johnny, Sav, we're so pleased for you, mate. You know, as of last week, he was averaging 115 in Premier League cricket this year. We know he plays more cricket than anybody else in the entire universe. So he doesn't bother with nets, I believe. He just goes and plays cricket. And he has played for a number of 2's counties over the last year or so.
A number of 2's counties, as in all of them.
Well, we think he's up to 11. But he has played at Somerset this year, and I was told by my Somerset sources they were very impressed earlier this year when he played there a couple of times. And as people know, we've got some good sources down in Somerset, to say the least. So, Sav, so thrilled to see you get a shot. And, hey, how good's this, mate? He's actually going to play, potentially, at a ground he will know quite well, playing for Cavs and Carrington at Welbeck, wouldn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. First games at Welbeck, yeah. It's going to be a bit of a trek for him. I think he's still based in the Nottingham area, so it's a bit of a trek up and down for him. But yeah, I mean, brilliant for those two. Johnny Connell, you know, we've been scratching our heads why he hasn't been picked up, so his ball striking has certainly done that. He had fantastic showcase game, wasn't it? Did it very well in the showcase game the other week, and then obviously played decent amount of 2's cricket. Sav's had a terrific year. He didn't, by his standards, I would say last year he didn't have a massively good year across the board. I think people were looking to give him opportunities last year and he didn't quite take it, but he's certainly backed it up this year with some big hundreds in 2's cricket, and obviously his Premier League stuff is absolutely flying, as it tends to do. But yeah, looking at everybody else basically, versus except Sussex and Somerset, with a sprinkling of Warwickshire, and hopefully there's more to come, because this is the tournament. Opportunity should be given. So hopefully it might just be a case of wait and see, and we will maybe get an explosion over the next few days, fingers crossed. But if not, I'll be disappointed. But it might be a sign that the squad sizes have grown over the last couple of years with a bit of the 100 money coming in, and also some changes in sort of how the contracts are funded and other things. So it might be a case of actually the last couple of years they've bulked up slightly with these type of players, and they therefore isn't the room this year for them. So we'll see.
Let's wait to see the sides that get put out tomorrow in the Metro Bank. Both myself and Hugh have got Metro Bank fever well and truly, because A, it's one of our favourite tournaments of the year now, and B, we're both on analyst duties tomorrow as well, so we get you're going to see potentially Sav and Johnny play for Somerset at Nottinghamshire, and I'm going to see somebody called Ben Stokes turn out for Durham at Derby. And I've got a question for Dave Griffin, the absolute stats man when it comes to everything at Derbyshire. When was the last time Ben Stokes played a 50-over game at Derby?
When did he last play a domestic 50-over game, as you could start with?
Exactly. But I'm not going to let this part of the programme go past without saying there is one major disappointment we have in particular. Where is the country's leading wicket taker? And not only the country's leading wicket taker, but one of the leading run scorers in his own Premier League, Mr. Ben Walkden, who we've been going on about all bloody season. He's been the first player to hit 50 wickets across Premier League cricket this season. And I don't give a monkeys about the fact that they bowl more overs in Liverpool. Still got to take the wickets. Everyone has the same.
He's averaging 10. It's not like he's 50 wickets averaging 20. He's averaging 10. So as a seamer in this summer.
So from our side, many congratulations to Ben for hitting that 50, and fingers crossed it goes on to be a lot more. But when you look at Warwickshire signing Charlie Taylor and Jake Garlick, two seamers, have they missed an opportunity there? Let's see what happens over the coming weeks. As we say, I think the Metro Bank squads are, shall we say, a little bit on the fluid side.
Let's hope he gets a gig. I mean, there's nobody more deserving. I'm just looking at his stats here. 52 wickets in ECB Prem cricket. That's 4 ahead of Tom Sefton. He's bowled 15 overs fewer than Tom Sefton. His best is 7 for 81. He's averaging 10 economy of 2.97, strike rate of 21. So he's 8 5-wicket hauls. There's nobody bowling better in Premier League cricket. And as a seamer doing that in the Liverpool comp in this summer, if he was a left arm spinner, it wouldn't be quite so remarkable. But the lads below him are all essentially spinners. Just looking down there, Gareth Cross is a bit of a wobble merchant, isn't he? He's not steaming in for Clifton and GMCL, but pretty much everybody else is a spinner in that group. So he's streets ahead of the nearest seamer, and we know how precious good seamers are. And if you're an all-rounder, Leicester should base their whole setup around, depth of all-rounders, people who can bat, people who can bowl, people who can field well, as Ben Walkden for. He's only 22, is he 23, Ben Walkden?
22, 23,
Yeah. Surely somebody give him bloody a Metrobank contract.
And how remarkable can it be that he's taken more wickets than Tom Sefton, who trundles in to bowl his spin off 3 or 4 steps, as you say, versus the seamer running in with 15 overs. That's massive to me. Only 15 overs less is not a lot, but he's running in as a seamer. That's huge difference, isn't it?
Yeah. Great wins for Australia. I think it needs a new agent. Just get on the phone. So that, if anybody pulls a hammy or something like that, just get on the phone, get him in there, because he won't let you down. And I'd be fascinated to see what he could do. And you feel like this is the year he needs to. He's obviously had a huge body of work behind him over the last 18 months. This is the time to get him in. He's fit and firing, but we'll see.
Absolutely. Hey, let's have a look at one or two other things that happened at the weekend before we talk Premier League. And I've got to say congratulations to Berkshire. Johnny Connell, they're celebrating that today down at Berkshire, but they were celebrating even more yesterday, winning the NV Play Trophy, the 50-over competition in the national counties in... I think the best way to put it is winning it in style. 210 all out they were, which for me down at Copdock, which we know is a place that a lot of runs have got scored over the years. 210 all out looked like a bit of a below par, shall we say, to be Hugh. But Ben Salter came in late in the innings and scored 49 off 61 balls for them. But more importantly, Ben Salter tore through them with 4 for 11 from 6 overs. And don't forget, Suleiman Akhtar was 3 for 10 off 4.4 bowling. That's got to be disappointing for Cheshire to be bowled out at 98, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's the game of sort of 2 innings on either team, really. Ewan Woods, 59 with Ben Salter, that partnership there. And then the top of the order, we got Henry Murray and Sam Perry were going well, and Sam Perry's got run out. So a run out on 23. If those two kept it going for longer, then it would have been a potentially a much tighter game. But yeah, not too many other people were able to score heavily in the game. Johnny Collins got 36 quite quickly, and Andy McKeown has got 29 quickly as well. So those two chipped in with Berkshire to help them get into a respectable total. But it obviously wasn't easy to score as everybody else for Cheshire's struggle. But yeah, Ben Salter, great performance there. A match-winning all-round performance, opening the bowl in 6 overs, 4 for 11 to go with his 49.
Yeah, and that's the 9th occasion now that Berkshire have won the National Counties Trophy. They are dominant. There's no two ways about it. They had a bit of a in and out year last year. Berkshire went through quite a bit of a change, but congratulations to them. And as I say, double celebrations going on now with Johnny getting his Metro Bank contract today. I think the other games that were going on yesterday, of course, that had great interest to us were the ECB National Club Championship games, where it's fair to say Ockbrook got Deepak Katrid
shellacked, shellacking. Yeah, I did kind of feel like that was going to happen. Ockbrook's season is not, the season it was of a couple of years ago, but yeah, it was a rather lopsided affair. I actually didn't have a look at the score until later on, but yeah, it was they were struggling along, and then Smethwick got them comfortably in 119 in 11 overs, a total of 42 and a bit overs in the match. So yeah, it was a comfortable victory for Smethwick. It's not what you expect at this stage of the national, year, but it is what happens. So
there were 40 something for 4. Yeah, when you're 40 something for 4 in, I think it was 10 overs, you're in trouble straight away, aren't you? Deepak with 3 for 15, and then he came in at number 4, I think it was, for Smethwick yesterday. And obviously they obviously wanted to get moving quickly, because he finished the game off with 2 4s and 2 6s, just to finish the game and get down the M42 or the A38, whichever way they were going back to Smethwick. And they've got a monster game coming up in the next round. Now, the quarterfinal that they will be playing is away at their huge rivals, Nolan Dorridge. That's a big one, without an absolute shadow of a doubt. But then the other tie that was played yesterday was down all the way at Wimbledon, where obviously they had to delay their game a week because, well, you'd rather have the car park funding coming in rather than playing an ECB national competition last weekend. 203 all out. I was a little bit surprised by that one for Wimbledon. You look at the scorecard on that one, Hugh. They actually got going quite nicely, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a decent start. Tim Lloyd obviously out early, which is always a problem, but Adam Fox, Jack Boyle did well, didn't they? Dane Villas 42. Lots of people chipping in with the score, but nobody sort of winning the game for them. And actually, looking at how the Sawston innings went, they didn't lose many wickets. CJ Guest 95, not out. Probably had it under control the whole way through, but it was a bit of a wobble, and they needed. I think where they get there with 2 overs to go, and you think that's actually very comfortable. But the 37th over was a big one, 18 off it, 2 6s, a 4 in there as well, and then a 6 to finish. So it was a little bit, it was under control potentially for Wimbledon, and 20 more on the board would have been a very interesting game. But Sawston looked comfortable winners in the end.
Yeah, I think when you've got CJ Guest going to run a ball basically all the way through that innings, I think he's in total control there. And when Daniel Andrew come in, he scored very quickly. I've put it on our socials today, actually. 3 sixes to basically finish the game off, including the winning runs was a 6 as well, and it looks a monstrous 6 as well. It's the way to finish. Sawston and Babraham, therefore, in the quarterfinals of the ECB National Club Championship, and they made a 2-hour plus journey, probably 2.5 hours down to Wimbledon yesterday, but at least they've got a home tie in the quarterfinals. And they then play Sutton from the Surrey Championship. So they've got Sutton making the journey all the way up there instead. I think what's fascinating for me now, though, in the ECB National Club Championship quarterfinals, the top half of the draw, the northern side, it's Birmingham versus Birmingham, Nolan Norwich versus Smethwick. It's New Farnley versus Woodlands, the 2 Bradford League sides. And then down in the south, you've got Sawston and Babraham playing Sutton, so it's Surrey versus East Anglia, and Shepherd's Bush versus Teddington in a battle from Middlesex. So you've only got, across 8 sides, 5 Premier Leagues represented, and 3... Middlesex, Bradford and Birmingham District guaranteed a semi-finalist already. So it'll be an interesting day on August the 2nd. I don't think I'll be unfortunately able to go to a game that day because I'll be working, but I will be at a semi-final a few weeks later. And the likelihood is I'll either be going to Nolan Norwich or Smethwick because that's the Midland side who are going to get through. Who wins in those games? I'm literally tossing a coin in those two. The 2 northern ones, I'm tossing a coin. I do have a sneaky feeling Sawston look really, really strong down south, and I wouldn't want to have to keep travelling to them. They've got 2 home games coming up if they win now, so that they're in good shape. But what are we, 7-8 weeks away from the final? Comes around quick, doesn't it?
It does. It's also, I think, the dark horses there, aren't they? They're always out in the east. There's a bit of an unknown. How you stacking up? Is the East Anglia Prem strong this year? Because Sawston are sitting mid-table in that. They're not flying. But to be knocking out Wimbledon, who we know were a very, very good side, pretty comfortably. Yeah, if they can keep this form going into September, could they be the dark horses? Because obviously there'll be a few teams from the Midlands and the North who will feel that Lord's final as well within their reach, but
Wormsley final.
Could do it. Sorry, Wormsley final, whatever. Yeah, a fancy venue final. There we go. Yeah,
fancy venue final. And talking of which, just to say congratulations to a couple of other people. Fancy venue final also in September is the T20 national final down at Worcester, and a couple of old friends of ours, they're in the area finals now. Northern won theirs over the weekend, and Townville beat New Farnley yesterday up in Bradford, so they're through to their area finals. Ashted down in the Surrey League, they blitzed their way through to the T20 finals and won yesterday, with Dylan Church scoring some rapid runs down there again someone who's been around those 2s and bits and bobs. So it's hotting up. I'll be in touch with Aaron at the ECB in the next week just to get an update on who's in there, because it's one of those strange competitions, the National T20, where you have to wait almost to the very last week to find out who the winners are in each area to go through to the area finals. It's bloody frustrating, to say the least. As we'd say to Tom Raymond Hill, there must be a better way of doing it. To get a big qualification or something. It's a lot of games, as our friends at European Cricket used to say. So a lot of games you got to win the national T20 in England, and it's proven so again, isn't it? So.
Yeah. So just you mentioned Townville, New Farnley in the T20. They played on Sunday, but they also played on Saturday in the league. I assume you'd pick that game up.
Oh yes.
New Farnley batted first, 266 off for 8 off their 50, and then Townville were a little bit behind the 8 ball, but the last couple of overs, 11 runs off the 48th and then 14 runs off the 49th, including 2 wickets, and they finished 1 short of the total. So I think New Farnley had that under control, and then just managed to creep over the line. But yeah, Fletcher Coots bowled a final over for 14 when 16 would have lost him it, but 2 wickets in that, as well as 2 sixes in amongst it. It was absolute carnage. It's on the live stream there. It's worth a watch because it was looked like a great finish.
And really, it's really on our socials. Yeah. It's on our socials. Our friend Mutz at My Side of Cricket's done that one for us. Unbelievable. Fletcher Coots, big game player. No two ways about it. He loves the big games. And remarkably, that's the first time this season now, New Farnley, unbeaten, remember last year, first time this season they are top of the Bradford Premier League. However, it is only on net run rate. How remarkable is this? The weekend, you picked it up. They played Townville on Saturday in the league, and then Townville, they played the final of the T20 yesterday. I don't know what they're doing next weekend, but the weekend after, first and second, they play Woodlands, who are second or third in the Bradford League.
Second.
And then they play them the following day in the National Club Championship. I mean, if New Farnley get through to the 3rd of August and they're through to a National Club Championship semi-final in the top of their Bradford League, they'll bloody well deserve it, because they're getting... I mean, that's tough, isn't it, to be playing them all at the same time?
Yeah. Yeah, if there's any needle in any of these games as well, it's going to come out on the Sunday, isn't it? It's going to turn up on the Saturday, and it's going to be refreshed on the Sunday. But you've got Woodlands, New Farnley, Townville, Pudsey, all within 6 points of each other at the top of the Bradford League, which is the first time that league's been that tight for a long time. So it's going to be, I think, it's proven to be a really, really fun league this season.
It is looking like a good one, definitely.
If your business runs on 5 different apps, 12 browser tabs, and one spreadsheet that everyone's afraid to touch, it's probably time for Odoo. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that connects every part of your business into one powerful, easy-to-use platform. So instead of wasting time switching between disconnected systems, your entire business works together in real time. Your team moves faster, your data stays accurate, and you can actually focus on growing your business. Let one unified system run your entire business. From the first opportunity to the final payment, everything works together in one place. Whether you're a small business or managing a large operation, Odoo gives you one flexible platform built to grow with you. Learn more at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
So overall in the Premier Leagues of the weekend, there was 181 games. Every league played, plus Chesterfield played on Sunday to make up a game there as well. And remarkably, for the 5th week running, Hugh, no ties. We kept talking about ties earlier this season, but none this time. 64 centuries, equal with the 63 fifers. 331 half centuries. But there was carnage. As always, there's somewhere with carnage. I think we've said this before, but it does seem to happen more often than not in the Greater Manchester League. I don't know why it is, but the Greater Manchester League do like a quick finish, don't they?
Yeah, well, it's a nice place to go out, Manchester. So just everyone just gets it done early, and then you trip on the old tram and have a nice evening, can't you?
Yeah, and it was Denton West's turn this time. Bowled out in just 19.4 overs by Prestwich. It's fair to say the bowlers had fun. John Richardson, 4 for 25, and their pro, Nico Van Zyl from Prestwich, 6 for 27. I think he's someone that Matt Taff said it earlier on in the season when Blackpool played him. He was very impressed by Nico Van Zyl. 19 overs. Callum Flynn there, England disability captain, opening the batting for Denton West. Didn't really trouble the score as much as 6 runs. Tiki De Silva, he's been scoring runs and doing things for Denton West, but not this week in the slightest. And Prestwich, they lost 1 wicket. Jordan Williams took 1 wicket, but they managed to knock it down in 11 overs for the fastest finish of the entire weekend. Less than 31 overs played that day in that game. I don't know what time it started, but it's a 2-hour game, isn't it, basically?
That's about right, isn't it? Nice Saturday. That everyone's happy with the football being on. I don't know actually anyone actually intended to watch the football, but I think most of us ended up watching it anyway. And what a game it was. So yeah, it's not a bad. It's just a shame it wasn't a World Cup final.
Almost a cricket score, wasn't it? Yeah, what about the top scorers around the country then? What you got, mate?
Well, there's been quite a bit going on, to be fair. Just looking across all the leagues, Imran Hassan, Newport in South Wales, 190 not out, no double hundreds this week. We've had a lot this year. 190 not out. Tom Parton, 178 for Ramsbottom. Oliver Horlock, 172 for Hucknall against Attenborough. Dan Schultz, 162 for Timperley against Lindo in Cheshire. Mihaly Mponga, 161 not out for Dock against Swordston in East Anglia. Those are the top 5. But yeah, you got Imran Butt at Ammanford's 156 not out. Dan Smith, Bishop Stortford in the Herefordshire League 152, and Jason Loggin, always reliable, 150 not out for Rainford against Wallasey in Liverpool Comp. And Dan Newton's also got 150 in the Lindo versus Timperley game as well. So that was a high score. We got 2 lads with very, very high scores. I suspect that deck was pretty good. But yeah, we got 9 people over 150. Just a bit disappointed about the lack of double hundreds this weekend.
Yeah, and that Timperley versus Lindau game, that Lindau versus Timperley game with 699 runs between them was the most runs in any Premier League game around the entire weekend. First time that we've not had over 700 for a while, but it's a big one there. The game that fascinated me was our friends at Hucknall, where you've already mentioned Oliver Horlock there with 172, but he also batted with Ryan Buckley, and they put on 233 for the first wicket, and Ryan Buckley got 126 there as well. A huge amount of runs for Hucknall. I'm surprised they haven't gone a little bit further during the season, but it's been a tough league, the Nottinghamshire one. Others to pick out, top scorers. Somebody called Darren Stevens playing for St Lawrence and Highland Court. Now, he's not been named as many times this year, but when he scores 129 off 73 balls, he's warming up for something there, isn't he, to say the least?
They should give this lad a Metrobank gig. I think he'd go all right.
I think he'd still do all right, wouldn't he, to say the least?
Yeah.
Isaac Mohammed,
he's averaging 61 for St Lawrence.
Is he?
In the first team? I don't know whether that's all Premier League. I think that looks like it's all Premier League. He's got his 200s there, 63 not out, 75 not out, interspersed with a couple of low scores. But yeah, he's still doing fantastically well for them, isn't he?
Yeah. Other names that I picked out, that old favourites. Isaac Mohammed on the Worcestershire books, I believe. 117 for Smethwick. Then ex-Derbyshire Matthew McKiernan, 125 not out for Lee of 82 balls. And then I'd get slapped around the head if I don't mention this one. The wizard himself, Adil Malik, 104 not out for Hornchurch off 81 balls. Not a name we've seen enough of this year, because we know how well he scored in the past and how well he's bowled. But the other one that was pointed out to me is from our old friends at Lower House. A certain Mr. Daniel Salpietro, back-to-back tons, this time just 102 not out, but it was off 78 balls. He is on the charge for Lower House at the moment. And if the Bradford League looks close, I think that the Lancashire League could be the other one that goes all the way to the end this year, mate.
Really good. Yeah, it's a few others just to pick out. Sam Evans as well, 113, but Les Ivan, who just keeps churning them out, doesn't he? He's just so consistent in that league. And then the game that jumped out at me, Ben Slater's 120 not out for Chesterfield has completely upset the apple cart in the ECB Prem there in Derbyshire, because Spondon could well have gone top if they'd nailed that down, but they lost to sort of a lower level Chesterfield. It's helpful when Ben Slater can drop in for you. He's a Chesterfield boy, so he's there's no rules against him playing there. Very useful player to have. And Denby also lost, so the top 2 lost, meaning that everything's just got squeezed up much more closely. You've got 3 within shouting distance of one another, but either Spondon or Denby could have really put a gap between them, and both of them failed to do so.
Yeah, most definitely, without a shadow. It's going to be, I think there's 1 or 2 leagues just sort of tightening up like that now, isn't it? Making life a little bit easier, a little bit more interesting, because we did think there was 1 or 2 that were just going to be blown away, but we do want it to be interesting going into the last third of the season as it is. I think the other one I was going to point out was a really big chase up in Lancashire there, where Norden, having scored 300 plus, were chased down by Ramsbottom for the biggest chase of the weekend in 48 overs in the Lancashire League. That's not something that we see up in the Lancashire League in the past very often, but those 300 scores seem to be popping up once or twice there now, don't they? Obviously been a good summer, unusually warm across the country, isn't it? And actually Lancashire's been as dry as anywhere, whereas normally, they're on the wrong end of it while everyone else is staying nice and sunny. So, yeah, it's obviously helping the scores up there. And, yeah, we just hope we can see that double 100 up in Lancs. That'd be record-breaking, wouldn't it? The days of some of the West Indian overseas quicks terrorising it are sadly gone, but it still haven't managed to crack the double 100. Absolutely.
But, yeah, jumping into bowlers, top wicket takers, Dylan Walker for Formby, 8 for 11. Now, you can accuse people of bowling all day in Liverpool, but this was off 7.5 overs. Formby versus Bootle. Useful contribution from him. George Rhodes for Barnes Green against Shrewsbury, 15 overs, 8 for 44. Liam Gaskell at Rainford, 16 overs, 8 for 47. Ben Giddy at Chester Broughton Hall, 14 overs, 8 for 48, and Fahad Hassan 8 for 55 and 15 overs for Stony Stratford against Findon in the Northants League, which was a terrific performance for him. And another 8 for as well, Sam Whitney for Shrewsbury in the Birmingham League against Barnard's Greens, 16 overs, 8 for 56. We got 1-7 for Mohammed Amir for Cleethorpes, which I was at this week. Very, very nice setup. Yeah. Enjoyed that muchly. And then, a few sixers, or quite a few sixers across the board. But it's plenty of wickets about this weekend.
There was, and as you said, Dylan Walker, 8 for 11 off 7.5 overs for Formby. That's quite remarkable in that league. We don't see that very often. But I would also just point out, Bootle, you've got the worst camera position of all time. Could you please, you've got to do better than that. You've got MV play. You've got all of the wickets there, all the runs that you could, and you might as well put it another mile away. It's just awful, guys. And I don't like to be critical about any club and the way they set things up, but you've got side screens either end at least. Use them, please. It's far better, not just for us, but for your guys and for your socials, etc. Elsewhere,
just on that Stony Stratford Findon game, you've got Fahad Hassan. He's got 8 for 11, and beating Findon is tough. Stony Stratford in second, Findon at top, and they were before the game, but Findon still found a way to get 233 on the board. You've got a lad taking 8 wickets for not many, and they've still got 233. And then they bowled Stony Stratford out for 131. So it shows you the depth and quality of Findon. It's such a strong team in that league. Top 3 have all completely failed. Drew Brearley and Dan Bendon have put on 100 or so between them, and Alex Evans was 67. Everyone else has hardly got a score in that game. So if they weren't got out by Fahad Hassan, then they scored runs, and it was too much for Stony Stratford. So difficult loss for them, I feel, because that would have taken them top and would have kicked them on for the rest of the season.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, you talked about the sixers there. I'm going to talk about some of the fifers I picked up. So, Colin Ackerman for Darlington. That's one of the Durham players there. Matt Campbell back at Kimberley Institute, having had his little tour, that mid-season tour that he had overseas there. He's taking 5 for 22. Saminder Lakshan, one of the top bowlers of the country up there, close to Ben Walkden with 5 for 23. A certain KC Cariappa, 5 for 32, regular name here. Keith Barker, 5 for 39, Enfield. I think that is the Keith Barker as well. Craig Symington, friend of the show, 5 for 44 for Hartlepool. Better known as an opening batter than a bowler, I believe. But more importantly, congratulations, Craig. Your lad Luke made his England under-19 debut made his England under-19 debut down at Sussex on Friday. So really great to see Luke there, back from injury. 5 for 46 for Samit Patel, 5 for 50 Ben Walkden, 5 for 51 Jake Gillette, 5 for 51 Ockhurt Erasmus. The names as you go down here just becoming more and more the same guys, including, I've got to say him, your mate, Jameson Hedges. He did well the week before. He's got 5 for 75. But look who popped up for West Herts with 5 for 80. Jaffa Chauhan. Having played for Yorkshire, and I believe played for Hartlepool up in the North Yorkshire South Durham League this year. Also playing down at West Herts, 5 for 80. So well done to you, Jaffa, turning up there over at Flitwick. It just shows that the amount of pros, top end, very close to that, on that cusp, who are still playing at this top end Premier League level is brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. Taylor Cornell come out as well. He got a 5 for this weekend, but he's got 857 runs at 60 to go with 30 wickets at 20. He's second in the all-rounders behind, of course, Ben Walkden, who is miles ahead with his 666 runs at 66.6. Very nice of him to keep things lovely and symmetrical there. And then he's 52 wickets at 10. So, nobody is touching Ben Walkden on the all-rounders chart at the moment, but Taylor Cornell just year after year after year after year is proving that he is one of the best club cricketers in the land. But yeah, Methley would be a sad place without him. He had 2 or 3 seasons at Worcestershire, didn't quite make it, did he, Taylor? But he's still doing a terrific job wherever he goes.
Yeah, some great stuff going on all over the country there. But I have got to point out one scorecard that did take my eye in particular, Hugh. So, picture the scene. Usk versus Newport in the South Wales Premier League. And having been asked to bat, Newport going to bat, they scored 263 all out off their 49.4 overs. Decent. When you look at the scorecard and see that Imran Hassan has scored 190 of the 263, and he opened the batting with Harry Wallace, and then the only other player to get into double figures was the number 10, Salman Saeed, with 12. Definition of one-man batting lineup, do you reckon? I mean, that's a bit unfair to say that, because obviously Harry Friend is captain there at Newport, and Harry Wallace, who I saw in the under-19 invitational game with England a few weeks ago, top players there, but not their day. Newport, as I say, 263, 190 for Imran Hassan. Very familiar name, taking 4 for 38 there. A certain Billy Root for Usk, who Usk then went on to chase that down with an over to spare. Hugo Caldicott, 103 off 140. Ewan Jones, 97 off 113. But yeah, one-man team? No, clearly not. Just one of those days. It happens, doesn't it? We've seen it where Joe Root might have scored 100 for England and everybody else has scored 25.
Well, we can certainly say that's a one-man team at times, can't we? But
Exactly.
I think the great cricket boys would call that an any danger innings, isn't it? Any danger, lads. 190 off 161 balls. Yeah, nobody else getting past double figures except for, like I say, Salman Seed with 12. That's and then to lose as well, it almost makes it better, doesn't it? 190 and you've lost. You can just turn around to your mates and just shake your head in despair. But yeah,
I did my bit. What have you lot done? You know, it's as simple as that, isn't it?
It's one of them, isn't it? Yeah, but it's a demoralising loss. But to chase it, with a couple of overs to spare, it's a painful day, isn't it, for the rest of the team? That it's a chiding day, chastising day.
As I turned up at our club on Saturday and we were sunted for 7 and it was ridiculous, my exact words to our skipper were, are they bowling like the wind or is it just one of those days? And it was just one of those days. And bear in mind, our twos are second or third in the Derbyshire Div 7. So, yeah, they've done all right. So to be 60 odd for 7, it was like it was one of those days. Clearly, everyone in Newport, apart from Imran, had one of those days.
Yeah, it's cricket and it's a stupid game. What are we doing?
Correct. It's the stupidest game in the world, but it's why we keep coming back to it for some strange reason as well. Anyone else that you've picked up over the weekend, mate?
No, just milling about, looking at a few things. I think I'm looking forward to where the ECB National Championship goes. Really look forward to the match, but hopefully we're going to get some more signings. That's really what I've been nosing about, seeing if we can anything else is going to occur. I feel like there'll be a few more, won't there? There's been a few announced like today, and I reckon there's a few will spring up tomorrow because particularly the teams may be involved in finals day, which looked like a good laugh that did. So I suspect when teams get into their media guys get sober up like knots. I think the Blaze won on Friday night, didn't they? And then they were playing the T20 finals day on Saturday. It was a busy few days for the media boys down there. And I assume a few sore heads on Saturday night, regardless of their outcome. I think maybe the next couple of days we'll see something. I hope we'll see maybe a better Malden or somebody along those lines getting picked up and given a chance, because now's the time. If you can't give a young or even a middling aged, middle-aged, but not middle-aged, but middle-aged for a cricketer player a chance, then when can you? And there's plenty of contracts up at the end of the season for players probably not getting a new contract. So just dip into the Premier League, boys. There's plenty of good talent there. Give them a chance, see what they can do.
So let's leave it there. At this point, as we record, on Monday, the day before Metrobank fever really kicks in, 4 first-class counties have taken advantage of players in the Premier League and NCCA. Just 4. Let's see if by next week we're saying more than 4. Yeah,
I'm hopefully be up to 8, but I suspect we won't be. We might get a couple more. And it's interesting that it's one of them. Somerset, Somerset have got a deep squad, but they're just forward-thinking. Somerset, aren't they? They are. They know they're always challenging every competition.
They've had injuries this year.
Yeah, but they are. But instead of going, we'll borrow somebody from another county, they go, well, let's try some young lads.
Yeah,
good on them.
Yeah. And let's be honest. I'm going to say it out loud. Are Sav Pereira and Johnny Coddle going to be the new James and Thomas Rue, because they're both buggered off to a 100 deal? Yeah. So James and Thomas, we know how much we love you and adore everything you guys have done, but now we are all about Sav and Johnny Coddle. We want to see them do really well, don't we?
That's it. Yeah. Well, hopefully, the Rue boys have a slightly better day than they had on finals day, because I seem to remember Thomas Rue dropping a bit of a sitter and keeper, and James Rue dropping a bit of a sitter while he was in the field. So, yeah. Oh well. Hopefully they go better than that.
They're such good players. It's not always going to be like that.
No, it isn't. It'll happen. It happens.
Yeah. Brilliant. Catch you next week, mate.
Cheers, then.
Thanks for joining us at the Premier League Cricket Club. We'll be back soon with more from the world of Premier League and NCCA cricket. But in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review and follow us wherever you get your socials. Or maybe check out our website, premierleaguecricket.co.uk, to stay updated. Until next time, have a good one.